All right. Hi, everyone. How is everybody doing? What I want to know from you guys today so far is one, how are you? Two is what has been your favorite meal that you have made in the past week? I would love to know. And I would love to know if there's any suggestions that you guys have for me as well on what you would like for me to cook in the next upcoming weeks. So if you want to put that in the chat box or the chat box, then we will go from there. Awesome. I'm doing really well. Thank you, Isabella, for asking. So what I want to do for you guys today is we are going to do turkey burgers, and we're going to do carrot fries as well. So this is a really good dinner for you guys to make like post practice. It is very high in protein. You get good fats from some of the stuff that we're going to put it on today. And you get carbs from the carrots and from some of the other stuff like the bun, if you put bun on it as well. So we'll kind of talk through some of the stuff, and as we go. Another thing I want to point out to you guys today is that if you guys stick around for the rest of this class, at the end, we're going to be announcing the Cobra Core Swipe Mirror Goggle winners. I'm going to pick from the list on the side. If you guys send a chat at the end when I say, then I'm going to pick a name, and then you guys are going to win these goggles. You can see them. Aren't they awesome? So you're going to get a free pair of goggles to one lucky winner at the end of this webinar. So stick around to the entire thing. Awesome. Esther, I am in a different kitchen. I am visiting my little sister out in California. So basically I drove all the way from Pennsylvania to home to California to visit my little sister. And so you guys get another kitchen. And so one cool thing is that I like showing you guys the different kitchens so that you guys can see. You can do it in anything, anywhere, in your own kitchen, wherever. So we're going to get started. What we're going to do first is a little roadmap. We're going to do the turkey burgers first. And then while the turkey burgers are cooking, we'll work on the carrot fries. And yeah, so that's what we'll make today. So starting off with, we're going to be doing turkey burgers. So turkey burger is pretty much equivalent. It's equal to the amount of protein that's in ground beef. It's just dependent on if you guys want to do a leaner turkey, like a leaner meat. And so that it's just a little bit less fat than the ground beef. It's also can be substituted in for a ground beef, ground patty burger. They're both really good for you post-practice, post-workout, because they are really high in protein and will help rebuild your muscles after those hard works, because your muscles get those little micro tears in them when you work out super hard. Sydney, you can totally do beef if you want to do beef. I just am doing the ground turkey this time as a healthier, less saturated fat option. Today I'm using a 80-20. Parents, if you're watching, or you can ask your parents, that ratio is the protein to fat ratio. And so if you have a little bit of fat in it, what will happen is that it'll be a juicier burger. Now, if you guys get a lower fat, leaner protein, like a leaner turkey burger, what I want you guys to do is actually you can dice up some spinach and put it in the mix, and that will end up making it juicier in your burger, and you won't necessarily taste the spinach. You'll get that added nutrition from the spinach, and it'll make your burger juicier. So we're going to start off. I'm going to do 2 patties today. And so what I like to do is I like to put it in a bowl so that you can really mix it and mix in the ingredients. And that way, when you're mixing it and forming it, when you mix it, it actually makes it so it doesn't fall apart when you're grilling it or pan frying it. We're going to be pan frying it today. So that's kind of what we're going to do for there. So I'm going to turn you guys over so that you guys can see my hands while I'm working. So this is my little setup. This is my turkey burger. So what we're going to add in today is I'm just going to do a relatively simple burger. So we're going to add some salt. This is just a This is sea salt, but you can use pretty much any salt. And you just want to do a little bit because we're going to do a crust on the outside where we're going to put salt and pepper on the outside. I'm also going to start heating up my pan to a medium-high heat because you really want to make sure that you get a nice color, brown color on each side. So then I'm going to also add into these burgers. You're going to put some garlic powder in. And this you can do a little bit more of if you like garlic. If you don't like garlic, you don't have to. But that way you get that garlic taste, and we won't be putting it on the outside. We'll just be doing salt and pepper. So I'm going to add some pepper now, just a little bit, because we're going to be doing it on the outside. Got to fight with the shaker a little bit. My oven's done preheating. Next, I'm going to take a spoon or your hands. If you've washed your hands, you can use your hands as well. It's just dependent on if you like touching the meat or not. But I'm going to give it a really good mix and mush it together. And I already washed my hands, so I'm going to use it too to use my hands to form the patties, but I'm just going to use a spoon for right now for mixing it. So I'm going to mix it all together so that all of those spices are mixed in together with it. So you guys can see that everything's kind of mixed in. It's all together. Cool. Awesome. So what we're going to do now is I have a plate, and I'm going to use that to form my patties, and when I'm going to put my patties on here so that I can kind of get a good crust on them too. And what I like to do actually is I like to, on the plate, I like to put some salt and pepper so that when I do an even crust on each of the patties. So I'll put down some salt, I'll put down some pepper, and then you don't have to worry about sprinkling it on and getting all the spices everywhere. You can just kind of do it on the plate. And that's really helpful. All right, so we're good on that. So I'm going to take my ring off. I'm going to take my hands. They've been washed. Make sure you wash your hands before and after touching raw meat because you don't want to contaminate things. So I'm just going to, ooh, that's cold. Ooh. So I like to do a room temperature one. This one has been in the fridge a little bit longer, so it's still cold, but it's okay if it's not. So you want to make sure it's about palm size when you're forming your turkey burger. And because we mixed it together, it should hold together a lot better than if you just take ground turkey and plop it into a pan. Because if you've ever cooked ground turkey, you know that like when you saute it in the pan, it ends up like turning into just ground turkey. All right, so we got one patty down. I'm just going to set it on the spices like that. Kind of feels like a weird Play-Doh. It's like a wet Play-Doh. So I actually can make 3 little ones. So I'm going to make actually 3. So each patty should be about the size of your hand. And if you guys are doing beef burgers, a tip so that they don't shrink up, because I don't know if you guys have made burgers before and they like turn into hockey pucks. You guys can make an indent in the middle with your finger like that. And what that will do is actually prevent the patty from like shrinking up into that hockey puck. So that's a little tidbit if you guys are doing beef burgers. But this recipe is really good with just turkey burgers because we're going to be putting mozzarella on top. And we're going to be putting avocado on top as well. And a little bit of ranch because I like ranch. All right, so I have put all my 3 patties right here. I'm going to take this one and flip it over. And you guys can see how it kind of created a crust on there. It kind of got all the spices on there. And then I'm going to wash my hands off again. It's very important, guys, when you're handling raw meat to wash your hands often and before you touch all the other things. So I'm going to do, while it's on the plate, I'm going to do the other side. And I'm going to put some salt on there. And some pepper because I got the one side, but I need to flip it over and do the other because this one, all the spices went onto the one side. So I got my salt and my pepper. And this is, if you guys like it peppery, you can add more or less pepper depending on what you like. Salt and pepper, up to you. I have a little bit of olive oil here that I'm going to put in the pan just so it doesn't stick. This is also a non-stick pan. If you guys want a really good sear though, you guys can use a cast iron if you have it. If you don't, this will work just fine, but a good cast iron is always a good deal. All right, so we're gonna put these on. You guys hear that sizzle? That's the sizzle you guys want when you're putting a meat in a pan, because that means that it's gonna get a nice, it's called a sear on the outside, and that means it gets a good, it'll keep all the juices in while it's cooking. All right, so washing my hands again. We're gonna work on, while those are cooking, we're gonna work on dicing up and cutting up our carrot fries. So what these are is it's just the big long carrots, and we're gonna cut them up into basically French fries. And you guys can use sweet potatoes too for these fries. And they actually work the same because they have a pretty similar cooking time. So I'm gonna do about 3 to 4 carrots for my fries. And so I have a bowl ready to toss these in, but I'll show you guys how to dice them. So we're gonna take 1 carrot. So we got a big boy, right? Make sure these are already washed off, but make sure you wash them off. And you're gonna take off the top, and I like to take off the little nubbin at the bottom too. So take off the top and bottom. And what I want you guys to do is a first cut. First, always be careful with your knife. Second is always keep your fingers out of the way. And if you're gonna be doing it close to your knife, tuck your fingers in and use your knuckles so that you don't get your finger. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our carrot and we're gonna go this way so that I've got my 2 big chunks. And then I'm gonna take the smaller one, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in half long ways. And then I'm gonna do the half again so that they're in quarters. So does everybody see how they're kind of French fry shaped? They've got that French fry shape going on. So that's what we're aiming to do. For the thicker ones, you're gonna do the same thing. So fingers on either side of the carrot. Keep your fingers out of the way. And these are a little thicker on the top end. So what I like to do is I like to go half again long ways. And then I take this half and I also half that one more time so that they're all even cooking and they all have an even cooking time. And so they're not, one crunchy, one crispy, one not cooked, one cooked. So you're just going to do this to all of your carrots. Keep your fingers out of the way. Never want to lop off a finger. So you just want to try to make sure that all your knife cuts, guys, are as similar as they possibly can be. I mean, there's going to be some that are wonky. The bigger, so there's also smaller carrots, so you want to do it based on their size as well. So like, see this one is smaller on the bottom, but it's still in a fry shape. So I'm going to keep it like this so that they're all similar sizes when they cook. And same with this. This is a little bit smaller than the last one, so I'm just going to do the half. So it's like that, level flat surface, and then I'm just going to half it again. And there you go. So you got little fries. I'm going to do 2 more carrots while these are cooking. And this is a good thing to do is you start your burgers and then you do your fries, or you could do the fries and then the burgers. I like to do them at the same time, but I would start with these first because I have a batch that I already showed you guys, or I will show you guys when they're cooked. But this is a relatively quick dinner, everyone, that you guys can make right after practice, for a good dinner, for something that, is really satisfying and doesn't take a lot of time. Because I know you guys, if you're like me, you get really hungry after practice and you want something right away. And parents, if you're watching, this is a really easy, tasty dinner too, to get vegetables in and get that nutrition in, because carrots, they're really good for your guys' eyes, because they've got that orange. It's called beta carotene, but it's good for your eyes. It's good for your immunity. So when you guys are trying not to get sick or you're feeling sick, this will help your body with working towards not being sick and help it kind of kick into the gear that it needs to kick into to beat whatever you're fighting. It's also very fueling because they're carbs. They're veggie carbs, they're complex carbs. And so they help provide your body with a lot of energy and replenish what you kind of burn through during practice. All right, so I've got all my carrot sticks in my bowl. I'm gonna give my burgers a quick flip. Get this out of the way so you guys can see. If you could smell it, it's so good, guys. It smells so good. So I'm gonna give these a quick flip. And what you're looking for is that color. That nice brown color is what you want on each side of your burger. And see how they're staying together, guys? They're not really falling apart and they're not struggling really hard. Look at that color. You want that brown color. And so I like to do about 5 minutes on each side, but turkey burger is something that you don't want to cook like beef. You want to make sure that it's cooked all the way through. You want to make sure that it doesn't have pink in the middle because it's poultry, not beef. Beef, if you can do at different temperatures, but this is something that should be cooked all the way through, but not cooked to the point where it is just dry as anything. So I like to do about 5 minutes each side, kind of test one, make a little nick in the middle, and just make sure it's not pink. So my carrot fries. I'm going to take some olive oil and put some olive oil on them because that prevents it from burning. I have my oven at 400 degrees, and so I'm going to take my my carrots. You can either give them a toss like this. You can get a spoon, and mix it all together. So make sure that all your carrots are covered. I'm going to put a little salt. Put some salt on there, and everything I pretty much put on the burgers, I'm going to put on the carrots. Pepper. And my garlic powder, which is over here. And if you guys want to get fancy with it, you guys can put other spices. You guys could put paprika. You guys could put Old Bay if you like Old Bay fries. My fiance really likes Old Bay fries, so we do that with Old Bay. Cajun, you can do Cajun seasoning on these. You can do pretty much anything. You can sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese, like grated Parmesan cheese on them too, and then you can kind of have a Parmesan cheese carrot fry. But that is pretty much it, guys, for the carrot fries. And so what I'm going to do is I have a sheet that I put down with tin foil because it just makes it a lot easier for me to clean up. If you don't have tin foil, you can just use it on a regular sheet pan. But I like to do that because then it's really easy for cleanup and it's less work on you, less work on your parents. Parents, if you're doing this, it's less work on you guys too. And we always like a one-pan wonder, less cleanup is better. All right, so that's what we're looking at for our carrot fries. Don't they look good even before they come out? Like, yum. I love these. All right, so they go in the oven. They're going to go in there at 400 for a couple of minutes. They go in there for probably 20 to 30 minutes. And while this is cooking real quick, I'm going to we're going to do an avocado. We're going to do avocado mozzarella turkey burger. So I've got my avocado. And so I like to do these in kind of not necessarily guac-like texture, but I like to make sure that it's quartered. So I'll show you guys a cool trick that I like to do. Hopefully it works. But I like to, instead of, you take your knife and you cut around the pit and twist. Oh, look at that. The pit came in half, guys. I have never had that happen before, so welcome. So what I do like to do is I like to take a spoon, actually. So I don't like to use a knife because the knife's like when this is round, you gotta whack it and pull it out. That's really funny. I've never seen the pit do that. But you like to go through and you work your spoon under the pit. This is a little not ripe avocado, I think, but that's okay. Take your spoon through the pit. It's really fighting me because it's broken in half, but if you spoon out the pit, it should just pop the pit, which is that hard seed thing, should just pop the pit right out. I had to fight with it a little bit, but if it's a ripe avocado, it should come right out. This one's a little less ripe, but it'll work for the video. So I like to do it where you cut through and you make slices, and then you pull the spoon around the outside and you kind of pop it out of the shell. Because this one isn't as ripe as I thought it was going to be, it's not going to do it for you guys. But what I will show you is just kind of how I cut it. So I usually pop the spoon, I run the spoon around, just pop it out, and then I'll put the slices on the turkey burgers. All right, let me grab the cheese real quick. And you guys can see the turkey burgers are looking mighty fine. And this is one of my favorite things to eat. I love turkey burgers. I think they're great. So I'm using a potato bun, but I like whole wheat, too. But that provides a little bit of carb for you guys, to replenish, after working out and, providing energy and all that stuff. So what I like to do is, now that these turkey burgers are nice and brown, I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to put on my cheese so that the cheese melts on the burger and isn't just sitting there. So I'm going to flop that right on there. Flop one more. And the cheese is just an added little protein and flavor and moisture, and this is a good one for the mozzarella and avocado. You guys can put any type of cheese you really like on your burgers. I just am I have a preference with this one for the mozzarella, but you guys can put American, cheddar, just any sort of cheese if you like cheese. Another topping you could do is you guys can do just lettuce and tomato. You guys can do, if you guys take mushrooms and cut them up and put them in a pan and cook them, you can put those down on there as well. It's pretty much whatever you guys want to put on, but so the avocado, if it was ripe, it would provide you with some healthy fats. And then the bread is a good carb for fuel. The protein comes from your burger and your cheese. And then the carrots provide good veggies, good veggie carbs, and gives you that immune boosting little hit. So here we go. Ooh, here's one. So we got our burger, nice and simple. And what I'm going to do is, because I don't have avocado, I'm going to put a little bit of ranch on it and tomato. I'm going to put a little bit of ranch and tomato on there, kind of on the fly, because sometimes your veggies and stuff might not be ripe, and you might have to kind of roll with the punches on some of your things. So for my tomato, I'm just going to take the end off, and I'm just going to do a quick couple slices, and then I'm just going to put that on my burger. I'm going to put 2 because I like tomatoes. And then I'm going to put a little bit of ranch on there. And that's just kind of a little bit of flavor, everyone. Man, that is fighting me today. But that just adds a little bit of flavor and moisture as well. All right, so we got our burger down. We're going to pop out of the oven our carrot fries. And I will show you how good they look from here. So these are the ones, I'm going to actually put these back in the oven, but these are my TV Magic ones that I got. I did earlier, but these are my carrot fries. So they taste like sweet potato fries, and they're so good. All right. So I'm going to put these on my plate. And there we go. That's my plate right there. And that's a fabulous dinner. You've got good veggies. Those carrot fries are amazing. You guys can also do a fried egg on top of your burger. That's really good. You guys can do lettuce, tomato, you know what you do. Oh, my tomato fell out. But that is very, very good. Big fan of the turkey with the mozzarella, with the tomato, with a little bit of ranch on there, and my carrot fries. You get really good. So you guys should definitely try it. And if you do, tag me, tag Fitter and Faster Fuel, tag Fitter and Faster. But this is really good for you guys. Really good nutritional value, and it just tastes really good. So, yum. On to the next thing. What we're going to do is we're going to announce the winner of the goggles. So everybody start spamming the chat box, and I'm going to pick a random lucky winner for these arena goggles. So go. All right, who wants them? Who wants them? Who wants them? Who wants them? Oh, wow, you guys are going ham. All right. Okay, here we go. You guys are going so fast, I can't even tell names. All right. Let's see who we got. Let's go with... I can't even see your names. You guys are going so fast. Riley Smith. All right, Riley Smith, you are the lucky winner of the Arena Cobra Course Wipe goggles. Riley, somebody will be in contact with you from Fitter and Faster. And they will get in touch with you on the details and how you would get them. So Riley Smith, congratulations. And thank you guys for tuning in to Fitter and Faster Fuel. Tag me if you guys do the burgers, the ice cream, and any other recipes. This should be recorded and uploaded. And so you guys can watch this and kind of replicate the recipe. But it was good to see you guys, and thank you for fueling. And I'll see you next week. Bye.